So now we're going to look at how to add a test to the gradebook. So I'm going to navigate to the grades menu and go to Gradebook. At the top next to add assignment, we see the option to add a test. I'm going to click add test and it brings me to the create test page. But this is within the gradebook and we know that why? Well, we have options to assign the test as an assignment in the gradebook. So it gives us the assigned date and the due date, etc. over here. Now, if you built your questions, they're going to be in the left-hand panel here. So I'm just going to click non-standard to find my questions. And I'm going to click add to tests. So it brings these questions over to the center. This is where I build my test. I can continue building my test, or if I'm satisfied, I can move on. Now, here's where you can change the point value of your test questions. So if you want some of them to be worth more than other points, you can do that. If you change your mind and you want to delete one of the questions, you can click the X and delete that question. If you want to edit the question, or you just forgot what it says, if you click this middle icon here, it opens up the window and you can see the question and edit the question if you need to. So moving on to the test options. Here we're going to name the test, and I'm just going to call this Chapter 13 test. And the due date, the assigned date and the due date. If you want to restrict the students to only be able to take the test during the times you have it assigned and due, you can click this restrict between times, in which case you may want to give them until the end of the day. So let's say 11:59 p.m. if you're going to make an assignment or test due at a specific time. Right now, it's important to choose dates that are within the marking period dates. So currently we are in fall term 3, and fall term 3 ends on November 15th. So you don't want to go beyond November 15th. Right now there's a bug in the program and the test will just kind of disappear if you choose anything beyond the 15th. If this is a test that is going to be due during fall term 4, you would want to go to fall term 4 and add it with the appropriate dates there. Enter the amount of points that this test is worth. So I'll make this test worth, let's see, I have 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 points here. For the assignment category, if you use categories, you can choose which category you want to put it in. Login PIN. If you want to assign a PIN number, basically the students can't take the test without having the PIN number. So this allows you to put this test up earlier and so the students know it's coming, but they can't actually get into it. So assigning a PIN number is not a bad idea, whatever you choose to do. So I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4. You can enter however many days that you want the students to wait before they can review the test and review the correct answers, what you have scored. So this gives you time for students to make up or complete the assignment. The description area is where you can type a description of the test if you choose to. Scrolling down, requires completion of. If you say this is part 2 and you want students to complete part 1 first, you would choose part 1. So that means they have to complete that assignment first. Because this is the first assignment in this gradebook, then I don't have any options here. But if you have other assignments already in the gradebook, you will have an option in this drop-down. Individual times. So if you want to make the test only available to students during the class time, specifically when they're in your class, you can click individual times and it opens up more options. You do have to enter the start and end date of your class because the bell schedules are not in focus. So you'll need to know that this is period 2 and it starts at, let's say, 10:04 a.m. and ends at 11:34 a.m. And again, you can put in, so I'll put PD2 1, 2, 3 as the pin. And then I can set, okay, give them 1 day to review the test. So same thing for your subsequent periods. So the individual times option is only if you want the test to be available when the students are present in your class. I'm going to uncheck that for now. Here's where you can choose which classes you want to apply it to. So we'll just check these others here. And now you can set the test options for all students. You can set it to open in a secure browser. Please be aware that students need to install something on the computer, so they have to have the ability to install that. You can choose large print font. You can choose open in a new window. However, secure browser and new window don't work together. It's one or the other. You can choose alternate multiple choice lettering. Now, open to students online and auto grade test are by default turned on. And it makes perfect sense that you would want it to be auto graded. However, questions like the long responses, audio responses, have to be manually graded. The last one here is allow retakes for tests. Now, if I check this box, it opens up some more options. You can choose insert the highest test score into the gradebook, or you can do an average of the test scores in the gradebook. And then the refresh time is, so if a student finishes the exam, right now they have to wait 30 minutes before it's available for them to retake this test. Turn that off. Section options. So you can name the section, so I'll just call this one section 1. If you want to give directions for each section, they have to go in this name field. So you can get quite a few characters in there, but you may want to play around with that if you do have directions you want to add. Now, the section options are available for the test as a whole, so you can allow students to strike out options, have a scratch pad. You can allow a calculator or a scientific calculator. If you're limiting their time, it's probably important for you to include the clock so they can see that countdown and know how much time they have left. Once you choose all of your options and you're ready to publish your test, make sure you're really ready, because once you publish it, you cannot make any changes. So I'm gonna turn this on, and let's see, we'll do large print font because I want to show you what it looks like when I publish it. So they mean it when they say this will finalize the test. You will not be able to continue making changes after this test. So I'm going to click OK because yes, I want to make the test. So once I create the test, it's going to populate in my grade book. Now I chose to color code my category test to light pink. That's why this column is light pink. Now notice over here, it's kind of hard. There's a little T. There's a little T right there. That was hard to see on the edge of the page, but that means it's a test. So you have successfully added a test to your gradebook that the students will take online.